Many times when I would open up, I felt judged and singled out. There were times when I would be scared and felt trapped by my sins and would break down because I did not know if I was going to live or die. And one time in particular, I was laughed at and just tried my best to just be the better person. So this person broke down in a meeting, talking about their problems, and he would laugh. The person would laugh at. No one was facing or dealing with death knocking so closely as I was at the time, and that made me think twice before opening up. Another incident was a member in leadership told me I could be walking on water before I leave the building. And this, I thought, was more than odd when this person clearly did not place the same standard on himself. And I know what they're talking about. I really just understand this. That person that said that to this person in leadership position only quoted what they probably heard me or someone else say. Oh, you could be walking on water. And they're not walking on water. They got so many problems, not even funny. But they cover it up with the knowledge of good. They cover it up from themselves and from everybody else. Well, they think they cover it up from everybody else, but they're really not. And so if I say to someone in the meeting, oh, you could be walking on water before you leave here, right? They think they're going to be coming from the same place I'm coming from when they say it. Not understanding what I mean at all, but it sounds good to hear me say it. They're not doing it. They got issues. They're still angry and emotional and out of control, but they'll throw that out there on a poor soul like that. Not guided by God in doing it, just do it because it sounds cute to do. Isn't that sad? Or just me? Let me finish. I was attending bond for about 6 months at this point, and this individual, being a member, had been in attendance for over a decade or two. I point these things out first because you asked, and second, that I hope that the organization can gain an understanding in areas where they may be more effective, helping people with serious complications understanding not only that they are challenged correctly, but more importantly with love. And that's what most don't have, which is the greatest exchange a human being can have with another human being or group. Sincerely, blah, blah, blah. Now, when I read this letter, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And I'm glad that this person wrote this letter because I've been hearing things like this from people who come for the first time. And they'll call me like, oh, I'm not coming back because after the service I was attacked and these people running over to me saying these things to me. And they don't know what you're talking about. They're not in a mindset to handle that kind of craziness. And that's not normal anyway. When the church service is over and people are here for the first time, you go over and just welcome them. Thank you for coming. My name is whatever. If you want to play, here's my number. You don't go over attacking people like this because you think you know something. Especially new people. People are coming in here, they are hurting. They have left those other churches because they didn't find what they were looking for. And they like me for what I say. And then you mess that up by going spoiling with your ego. It doesn't make sense to me. Even I don't talk to them when I greet them after the church is over. I don't preach to them anymore. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Please come back. I don't continue to preach at them. They had enough preaching. If they ask a question, I would ask the question. I would answer the question. But I don't continue to preach. And then you go home and do the same thing to your children. It never stops. You're still preaching. And your kids see you don't know what you're talking about, make me want to cuss. A cuss word came right here. What is this? And then your kids grow up hating you, you wonder why. Or you grow up with no friends, you wonder why. And then you say, oh, they were just judging me. They just didn't want to hear the truth. Ooh, it's so quiet in here.
That's the truth. You know, it's sometimes when you hear, and you hear it a lot, I say, a person speaks their opinion and the rest of everybody that's here doesn't agree, they put that added pressure on that person.
Yes.
Not to speak again. It's like being in school, you know, you want to question the teacher and you don't do it anymore because you
Speak
get
directly to
reprimanded
them.
by the teacher. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. You know,
I have seen it happen in the meeting. As soon as someone says something, everybody attack. I'm like, look, leave the person alone. Don't attack. Let that person speak. Let them be themselves. But the people who are guilty of this need to repent really fast. And I guarantee you, your lives are not well. All is not well in life. You really need to stop this. And you're doing it because you don't know yourself. And you're hurting people, you're running them off, and that's not good. That is absolutely not good.